Hey, so we always make a huge deal about goals, right? And everybody does that. They figure out the goals usually every new year. And most law firm owners like myself, we map out our goals, right? And those goals usually are a couple more cases or some more revenue, or let's increase the value of our cases, or even settle more cases, right? But we identify these goals, and we usually do it in January. And then if you're not careful, we don't look at those goals anymore, or we look at them once a quarter and we're like, oh shoot, I'm not on target for my goal, I'm not on pace for my goal, I need to get back on target. And then they move on again, and you don't look at them for another 3 months. One of the things in Legal Edge we talk about is, you need to look at your goals all the dang time, right? The more often you look at those goals, the more often you are and the more likely you are to hit those goals, right? And not only as the business owner do you have those goals, but you've got to be able to articulate and explain those goals to your team and your team leads, right? Where does what they're doing fit inside those goals? Now, if your goal is just more cases, okay, right? How does your intake teams and advertising bleed into that? How does your social media bleed into that? But also then what is the activities your operations is doing that encourages or cycles into that, right? Because let's be honest, it's not just about more cases, right? As the business owner, it's about more money. So you need to know what your percentage of withdrawn cases are, or files closed without a fee. What is your average case worth? So that when you're making those goals, it's not just, hey, I want to hit, whatever the magic number is of cases, right? I don't want, how do I get 400 cases this month? Or even 500 cases this year, whatever the number is for you. But what does that translate into? Into money for you as the business owner, right? And what does it translate into? Increased revenue? But what are your current margins? So you can figure out your strategy and figure out your formula, so you can know what those extra cases are worth, how much they should be to you on the back end of your cases, okay? But then once you've got those goals, whatever that is, whatever your goal is, I don't even care if it is just new cases, or if it's, I want to litigate 6 cases this year, all the way to jury, or, I want to raise my average fee. Whatever it is, though, you need to look at that goal and target as often as you can, right? I've got mine in my software that I use. I look at it certainly every week at minimum, right? I look at it to see how I'm doing, but I look at it when I set out my monthly missions. I look at it when I set out my weekly targets and goals, things I hope to accomplish every week. I look at it. I've even recorded on audio, so as I walk in the mornings, I can listen to my goals and targets. It keeps my mind focused on it and thinking about it. But also another technique, consider opening your meetings and day-to-day with your goals and targets and how the team leads bleed into that. I'm Shane with Legal Edge.